1% every day. That's the saying that is circulating throughout the internet. It's true. You should be doing something that is improving yourself every single day, whether it be 1%, 0.5%, or even 10%. And from the saying, it's basically saying that the little things count. It's better to do something than nothing. It's like taking one step at a time, because if you don't do that small thing, you'll always be on the same step. So, what little things can you do to be 1% better? First one is sleep enough. And what sleeping enough means is sleeping 7 to 9 hours per night. You have to get more rest. You have to sleep enough, because sleeping enough will declutter your brain. And I'm sure you had lack of sleep before, but whenever you don't sleep enough, you'll feel groggy, less energy, and you are more irritable. And you have this sort of brain fog in your brain that you can't think of thoughts. You're kind of just in this abyss. You're just staring into the abyss. You don't know what's happening. You're just sort of presently there. But whenever you sleep enough, you have the opposite. You think clearly, you're less sensitive, and you have more energy throughout the day. Especially for athletes, sleep is crucial. Sleep is the key to performance. If you don't sleep enough the night before of a game or meets, your performance will be hindered. And when you have enough sleep, sleep helps you with your recovery. So if you're not sleeping enough, you are more prone to injuries. And there's a bunch of studies on this. So make sure you sleep enough to get your recovery in and to enhance your performance. Sleeping is more of a small thing that you can do, but sometimes you might be struggling to fall asleep. Now, I know a lot of people struggle to fall asleep, so what I like to do is I like to take magnesium glycinate, which if you want some, it's down below in my description. And I take this an hour before I go to sleep. I go into my bed, I avoid screens at least 2 to 1 hours before I sleep, and then I just read. And there are studies out there where when you sit still for at least 15 minutes or more, you'll start to feel tired. And this is what I like to do is I like to sit in my bed, read a book, and then when 15 to 20 minutes pass, I do feel sleepy, and then I just go to bed. So that's my night routine. If you're wondering, I take my magnesium, go to bed, I read, and then I go fall asleep. Which just leads to the second point of read something. It could be a personal growth or a textbook, but read something physical in your hand. These type of books give you insights on what you can implement into your life. Instead of scrolling on social media, replace it with a book. From my experience, I feel more fulfilled and accomplished if I read something instead of spending a crap ton of time on social media. With reading, it also has a unique vibe to it. You have the textured page, you smell the book, you have to physically read it, you have to open the page instead of scrolling. It's different for new people, especially the younger generation. Plus, books are written in a certain time period. So it's interesting to see what the author is thinking and what their views are during that time period. And this leads to the next point of learn something new. This can be from the books that you're reading and implementing it in real life, or this can be a skill or a podcast. Podcasts are great because you can hear different perspectives or differences or ideas that you may have not thought about yourself. And the people on the podcast describing the reasoning on what their ideas are and why they think that way, this helps you understand a new perspective on something. And this also allows you to think about, why or how does this person think this way, and why do they think this way? It could be external environments, how they grew up, things that they learned throughout school, things like that. For skills, they could be learning a new foreign language, programming, bartending, sales, or marketing. It can be more than this. It can be all these if you want, but the floor is yours. You can pick any skills which you want. These are recommendations, but these are the skills that you can do. And being able to practice and do something that you aren't proficient in, it's good, because I know it's hard to learn something and do something that you're not familiar with, and this helps you be consistent with doing the hard things. Plus, the lessons that you do, they don't have to be long. They can be 10 to 20 minutes or even an hour if you have enough time. But the key point is to do or learn something new every single day, whether it be 20 minutes, 10 minutes, or an hour. You just have to be consistent with it. And this leads to the last point of you have to exercise. You need to have some form of movement in, especially for athletes who probably are training around 5 to 6 times a week. Within that day of recovery, you better be rolling out, stretching, doing yoga. And that's still a form of movement. So you have to do some movement every single day, whether that be 10,000 steps a day, running, hiking, swimming, etc. Exercise is part of your health and it's part of being healthy, because if you're not healthy, you're not taking care of your health, you'll start to develop a lot more problems. And if you are able to exercise, you're able to keep your energy levels at a reasonable amount. Because if you have too much energy and the night hits, you may feel, super excited that you can't go to sleep. So being able to exercise and exert that energy allows you to be at rest and have your mind at rest. Because whenever I exercise, I feel like it's a good de-stressor. I exert force, especially for sprinting, running. It's hard, get super tired. And when I get back into my apartment, I feel less stressful because I did something that, first, it's towards my passion, two, it's towards my goals, but also it feels good to get movement in general. And whenever I don't exercise, I feel more anxious and I feel more groggy, I feel more irritable. And this is why I value exercise, even if it's not hardcore running or sprinting. I think just going outside, getting movement in, like walking, having a conversation while you walk, just doing something like that, that's key to do every single day. And like I said, for athletes or even people in general, yoga counts, stretching, just doing something for your body and for your health is important. And with the skills, this can be from 20 minutes to an hour and a half. It doesn't have to be crazy, it doesn't have to be 2 hours or 4 hours of exercise every single day. Just get something in, get at least 20 minutes, you'll be fine. So all these things that I listed, they're reasonable. And you can do it within every single day. Although these things are small and you might not see the results the next day, you will see the results, no doubt, within 1 year. If you try to see the results in the first week, it won't happen unless you spend more time on it. But a lot of people don't have enough time to put more energy and more effort into that activity to instantly see the results within the next day or within the next week. Especially with fitness, it's hard to spend a lot more time and then get more better with it. Because your body needs to rest, it needs to adapt and heal to be better within the next exercise. So pushing yourself beyond your limits the first day and then expecting to see results the next day, that's unlikely because you'll be tired, you'll be sore. Even if you put so much energy, you still won't be able to see the results instantly. But knowing that if you put more time into something, you may or may not get closer to getting that results, because 1% is going to get you a lot of results in a year, but if you put 10% within a year, you get more progress than what you did with only that 1%. It may be discouraging to not see the results within a week or a month, but trust the process, keep doing it. The key point is just to be consistent. It will be worth it. If you want to improve your life, then I suggest you to watch this video about 4 habits that can help you improve your life.